Hi, I'm William Tenholder. I've been playing for over 50 years, and of course, you know, I've won thousands of games around the world. This is a fresh game, and I thought that I should share this with you because it is full of great tricks and traps. And so I'm going to proceed fairly quickly. I would like this one, especially for the beginners. Intermediates will enjoy it, even masters will enjoy this game. It's the Reti opening, and we proceed quickly. So I get my two knights out. They have a subtle two-pawn opening, and of course that is a green light for e4. Okay, so they want to stop my knight from coming in with the pawn, and this is my signature move. I like to come in with the check because usually they're going to defend with the pawn, and that messes up their queenside attack if they want to move out their knight. In this case, they do that. They usually play the pawn because they're thinking that they're going to trap the bishop, but no, the bishop goes back to a nice safe spot where I can castle, and I've got a beautiful position. Now they're all into the pawn game. Another pawn, and they haven't moved any of their pieces. I've castled, and I just like take a look on move 6. So I always like that. Move 4, 5, 6. That's usually winning right off the bat for me. So now they come up with a kingside attack. That's pretty gutsy. The way to deal with that is simply move the h3 pawn. So they see that they can't do much there, and they proceed on the queen side. Of course, this is a pawn rush at this point. They moved all their pawns, no pieces. So the best thing to do in that case is to oppose and then build from there, all right? They're probably going to bring their bishop out. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, so they bring their bishop out, and yeah, no threats. I don't see any threats there. They bring the other bishop out after I brought my bishop out. So we'll just take a look at that. So yeah, my bishop went out, their bishop went out. So now it's tricky. For the intermediate players, you'll recognize this move, and that allows the bishop to attack the king side. Okay, so they don't want to have the X-ray attack, so it's a pretty good player, right? They're wise to that pin and attack, and now they do open themselves up to another attack. So this is what I put together here. Now that's a nice position, strong position for white. It's a little weak for black. Let's move forward quickly here. Yes, so that's not a big deal. I pretty much can ignore that and set up my next attack. So this is an X-ray attack. They're focused on their queen side. This is an X-ray attack on the king side, and I played it quickly. Okay, that's the key. Play it quickly. Don't give them time to think. They're attacking my knight, and this is part of the plan because I want two knights in front of my king for an attack on the king side. King side looks pretty weak to me, and I can eat that up with the two knights. So that's another little trick there. I let them have that pawn. Now that rook is just stuck in the corner. And so sometimes you just have to ignore some things. But keep in mind, if I was to move my rook, then they could take the bishop. So you have to keep those things in mind. Now, this is an attack on the black center, but it's also discovered attack on the rook. I played it quickly. They didn't see it. The rook is toast. So there's trick number 3 or 4. And so now they're in a world of hurt because, yeah, well, their black side is going to get ripped up here. So they move the knight out. That's fair. Now, I'm looking for checkmate squares at this point. Where is there a checkmate, right? So you start to look around the king. What's weak? F7. You know, that's a checkmate square. Well, only if you've got D7 covered, right? So that's a great, you want to get a knight into F6. That covers the two squares E8 and D7. So let's go ahead, and I start to bring in the knights. They're trying for, something here, a little trickery, but I called them on it. You know, you're not getting away with that. It's en passant. En passant, and that pawn is gone. With a fork on the knight and the bishop, and in this case, the bishop has to take here. So now, attack on the bishop. Bishop has only one square to go to. That's it. Now the bishop's stuck in the corner. Really has nowhere to go. The two knights, it is beautiful. The way the two knights are controlling all of the black squares. And so now, this is an X-ray attack on the king. And let's see how they deal with that. They push a pawn, not really taking this threat seriously. Now the queen moves up to a square where the queen could perform some maneuvers, but still we need the knight to come in to F6 to cover those two white squares, and then we could have a checkmate, right? So this is all about looking for checkmate squares. Where can the king go? King can always squirt out to D7, right? So, okay, let's move along. Good move. Attack on the queen. Queen simply slides over and has the double X-ray attack now. And that's pretty lethal. So let's see how this goes. They attack the bishop and I ignore it. I take. Now the X-ray attack is turning into a real attack, right? And so now what can they do about that? They get their bishop into action. And of course, if I were to bring my knight in, the bishop would probably take it. And then I take the bishop and so on. So better is to go for the quick checkmate. So looking for the checkmate squares. And in this case, the checkmate combo. So there's the checkmate combo. The king has to move. The queen comes in for a beautiful checkmate. Nice and easy. So I hope you enjoyed this game. Tricks of the trade and how to get the quick checkmate by looking for the checkmate squares. Enjoy your chess. I'm William Tenholder. Have a great evening.